Welcome to Market Matters with Motter. I'm Trisha Motter with Interior Real Estate Services, and we're here today in San Jose at a new construction site by DeNova Homes called Asana. These 3 to 4 bedroom single family homes start at $1,250,000 with 42 units available. Now, the reason why I'm here today is I have more and more people asking me about what's involved with buying a new home and has there been any changes with the real estate market lately. So let's talk about it. Now let's start with the 4 positives of buying new construction. Number 1, you get a home with a fresh start and you get to pick the finishes and upgrades that customize to your needs. Second, many home builders provide a home warranty that cover many components of the home. Now, many people find that a comfort to know they have someone to call if something breaks down in the future. Number 3, many builders provide a Hometown Hero program, which is a $2,500 credit for first responders and teachers. And many lenders provide additional credits towards closing costs when you use the builder's in-house lender. And fourth, when it comes to the multiple offer situations and bidding wars on homes, it's a bit different with new construction. If there's no homes readily available, you can get your name on a waiting list and be called once it's available, which can help relieve some stress for many buyers. Now let's look at the other factors that could be considered less than ideal when it comes to buying a new home. Number 1, when it comes to the contracts, they are designed and created by the builders for the builders and not so much protecting the buyer and their interest. So it's very important to make sure you have your realtor with you when it comes to registering for that new home and looking at new homes to make sure your interests are protected and analyzing the risks. Secondly, when it comes to closing costs, in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley, many of our counties are a seller-paid county when it comes to escrow and title costs. Now, when you're buying new homes, those costs are passed on to the buyer. So for $1 million home with an $800,000 loan, that can be about a $5,600 additional closing cost that you wouldn't experience on a resale home. Number 3, property taxes. When it comes to the Bay Area, the average property tax rate is 1.25%. On $1 million home, that would be $12,500 a year. For new construction, you have to factor in the special assessments and mellorews to create the infrastructure and the public amenities. So when you look at that, you can have it go up as much as 2% for those property taxes. So for your resale home, you had a $12,500 property tax yearly cost. For your new construction, you could have as much as $20,000 in your property tax bill. So what does that mean over long term? In a 10-year period, that means $75,000 more in additional costs for your property taxes for that new home. And fourth, the California solar mandate. That means all new construction homes are required to have solar. So when it comes to the purchase price, that may or may not be factored in to what the builder is offering. So that could be an additional cost of anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000 or more for that solar to be paid at closing. Additional points for consideration. When it comes to new homes, many people don't realize the importance of getting a home inspection. Of course, it's important for those resale homes that are existing, but it's also very important on a new construction home, with the National Association of Home Builders citing that on average, a new home can have anywhere from 7 to 13 defects or deficiencies in that home. So make sure your realtor connects you with a local home inspector that can help find those defects and get those corrected before you move in. And when it comes to the cost of lumber, that's been a hot topic lately. With the cost skyrocketing by 280% this year, that's an increase of cost that's going to the builder and getting passed on to the buyer. So if you're on a waiting list or thinking about getting on a waiting list, keep that in mind on your budget. Most of these costs are increasing the builder's expenses by 5% or more. So by the time your home is ready for you, it could be substantially more than what you originally planned for. So keep that in mind when it comes to your budget. Now let's take a look at the building trends in Silicon Valley, where majority of cities have been approving higher residential density over the past few years. So let's take a look thanks to the Silicon Valley Index. Silicon Valley housing units within walking distance to public transit represented 63% of all newly approved residential units in financial year 2019 to 2020. The number of approved housing units near transit during that period, 6,958, was around 2/3 of the number approved during the prior fiscal year. The average density of newly approved residential development during the last 2 fiscal years was significantly higher than any 4 other years on record, spanning more than 2 decades. Although the financial year 2019 to 2020, 28 units per acre, was slightly lower than the prior year at 32 units per acre. Next, in the 2019 to 2020 fiscal year, nearly 2/3 of Silicon Valley cities and counties had average planned residential development densities in the medium to high range, more than 10 units per acre. 9 cities had average densities in the 40 to 100 units acre range, and 1 city, South San Francisco, had an average density of 140 units per acre for newly approved units. Pockets of high-density residential development approvals over the last fiscal year were spread throughout the region. Among them were an 800-unit, 5.9-acre mixed-use project with public open space in South San Francisco at the former Public Utilities Commission site. The 427-unit mixed-use Mills Park Center development in San Bruno with 65 affordable residential units and nearly 8,000 square feet of ground floor commercial space. The 265-unit Adrian Court mixed-use development in Burlingame with 38 low-income units, ground floor commercial office space, and public parking, and more than 2,000 of residential units included in Santa Clara's high-density, transit-oriented Tasman East Pacific Plan, which may ultimately include as many as 4,500 residential units and supporting retail services spread among various development projects in an industrial neighborhood. In closing, there are many factors to consider when buying new construction, and Silicon Valley is continuing to grow. So if you have any questions on how new developments compare to each other and comparing the risk versus reward, I'm never too busy to help you with your real estate questions and your needs. And if you're looking for that right realtor in a different area outside the Bay Area, I'm happy to find you that perfect match. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.